Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Haha. I hope you all are doing well tonight. I'm doing pretty good. And man, we got a lot of stuff going on. You see my thumbnail. It's a big club. You all know the rest of the saying. George Carlin said it. And you and I ain't in it. Well, I was going to put a picture of Podesta up. I might save that for another thumbnail. He's back, John Podesta. And I put on my True Social, I forwarded a collection of his artwork that somebody put together on True Social. I said, reminding anybody who looks at it that John Podesta is the same guy that came out at 3 a.m. the morning after the election because Hillary was either too drunk or too psycho to concede, and he came out and told everybody, just calm down, go home, we're going to regroup. Hillary's right-hand man. And take a look at the artwork he had in his home, along with his brother. He had some artwork too. I got pictures of that. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. Yeah, wonderful. But speaking of coffee, thank you. Thank you, Bev and Mike, for stopping by buy me a coffee before I went live. I got enough notification of that. I really appreciate it. Helps support the channel. And I have a buy me a coffee. Just put in Mountain Man. Go to buymeacoffee.com. And hey, I'll tell you what, I made a banner because I didn't know people knew how to spell this. Podge. Podge the like button. You know, I always tell people, podge. It's better than saying hit. That's what we used to say. Podge it. Podge it. Podge. Ha ha ha. Island Girl says smash it. That's okay. Smash it too. Smash it, podge it, whatever you want to do. Ha ha. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Susie. Miss Mendersue. How you doing? Island Girl's here, kicking bird. Yeah. Hi, Alan. Diane. William. Judy. Sherry. Kim. Make sure I get everybody. And if I do miss somebody, oh my goodness, it's not on purpose. But anyway, yeah, I got a creepy thumbnail up there. Valerie Jarrett and John Podesta. You know, Obama went to his White House, his shadow White House there in D.C. And who's living? Who's living in the mansion in D.C. is what's her face that you see on the thumbnail there, Valerie Jarrett. So I see who all's coming in, but anyway, Mr. T, his Lamborghini sold. Did y'all see that? His Lamborghini sold. He bought it new and he sold it in 2002 and he drove it and everything. And I don't know if y'all saw how much it sold for. And no Googling, no goggling. Ha 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 ha. Hi, Gary. Ha ha. So, y'all want to take a quick guess how much his Lamborghini sold for? Dun 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 boom boom. I usually do that twice. Give people time to think. No goggling. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Marianne. Awaken Trillium. Hi, David. How are you doing? Debbie Webby. I don't know, Debbie. I don't know. Island Girl says 50 grand. Kicking Bird says $1 million. Gary Steiner says 1 penny. Alan March says 83 million. Donald Trump's Lamborghini. He sold it in 2002, bought it new, drove it around. I don't know how many years he owned it for, but probably 4 or 5 years. And I'll have to give the award to Kicking Bird. It's $1,000,000 is what it sold for. And I'm sure that it sold for quite a bit more than your average Bear Lamborghini. And that is important. Why? Donald Trump said to Judge Engoron in a letter, I didn't even include my brand, which is very valuable. So if this got twice the money, a similar year, and equipped Lamborghini got, that's just all the more proof that the brand means something, means quite a bit. So anyway, jet lag, how you do it? Yeah, they got $1,000,000. Diane said 1.2. No, it was $1,000,000 right on the money there. Right on the money, $1,000,000. I don't know how many cars Mr. T owned in his driving days, but we don't even know if BO even had a driver's license. We know he had multiple social security numbers and multiple names that he went by, aliases, and multiple citizenships. Gee. So, yeah, New York as a brand, look where it got them. Well, you know, they were attacking his properties, painting graffiti in the street and protesting in front of there. He couldn't even keep a star on the Walk of Fame without people vandalizing it. That's the kind of trash we're dealing with. And I think the more that we get into these situations where they try to justify themselves or bring up their talking points, the more we can show how asinine they are, right? And petty and asinine. Now, Trump put out a statement about that. You know, we were talking, Bill, I don't need no stinking bill. Like Trump was saying, hey, I didn't need anything. I just closed the border down. Well, I've got in my thumbnail, Biden wants the power. And I saw a little clip, and it's the second time I noticed he said it. Somebody was asking him about the border, and a couple of days ago, he said the exact same words, give me the power. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind. What's he talking about? Give me the power. Usually I have a thing that will let me take that banner down without having to go out of my comments, but there we go. Anyway, Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Christina, how you doing? So, well, what's he talking about? Give me the power. Yeah, are they going to cook up some other garbage? Now, what Trump called it was, no, he said there's no reason to pass a bill to secure the borders. I did it without a new bill, and much less having to agree to allow 5,000 a day come in. 5,000 a day, okay? Times 30 days. You know, you can figure out pretty quick how many that is a month. And then multiply that by 12. That's crisis numbers. We're beyond crisis now. We're beyond a border crisis now. We've been at a border crisis. We're at an invasion now. And one thing I want to caution people, I was watching a video creator, I'll call him, and he repeated something very popular. I think a lot of you all probably listened to it too. I won't say who, but yesterday's broadcast repeated something that's not true. And they're talking about Eagle Pass. And there are other creators going around putting up videos showing an opening in the fence. And they're saying, don't be fooled. Eagle Pass is, it's all a show because a half a mile away, the border's wide open. Here's a big hole in the fence. Well, that's not true, folks. Now, and he's done plenty of videos. You can watch border videos till your eyeballs fall out of your head. It's a JLR, I believe I have that right. JLR Investigates. He's been doing border videos for, I think, 2 weeks straight. And he went up on top of a bluff. And he's got a camera, and he can point that camera right down where you just see the fence go for miles. The wall, the border wall, go for miles. And he turns it the other way. You can see the border wall. Then you see a kind of no man's land. And then you see the river where all the concertina wire is. And he said, hey, people are saying the border is open and it's all a show at Eagle Pass and half a mile away, it's wide open. He put the camera on the opening, which was about a half a mile away. His camera, excuse me, his camera could zoom in on it, and it could zoom in across the river. You could see migrants on the other side of the river walking around. He said, "There's the opening." He said, "That's just for the National Guard, Border Patrol, whoever." And it showed them. It showed them walking around in uniform. Showed them with Humvees and stuff going in and out of that opening in the border that everybody's claiming is wide open. And he's driven along that wall, and he knows that it is not wide open the way some of these creators are saying. The truth of the matter is, Eagle Pass has been secured. It's been removed from federal control because it is the property of Texas. And there is no opening for people to go freely through. It's an opening for border enforcement to go in and out of. So I just wanted to clear that up. So let me see. I'm way up here on the chats. Okay, we got. Hi, Lori. I may have missed a few people, but hi, Yvonne. Oh, Marilyn, you've been watching him? Yeah. He showed a truck on the other side of the border wall all shot full of holes. So, some people just want to get clicks and claim that there's some nefarious going on. Yeah, Florida's sending troops to the border. Yeah, well, something is for what's to come. Yeah, what is to come? The only way is the military. Oh, you were unsubscribed, Angela? Well, you got to subscribe back. Hi, William. How are you? Hi, Care. How are you doing? Well, anyway, to keep going on what Trump was talking about, he said we need to call it the stupid bill, the bill they want to pass, the stupid bill. So that's what I'm going to refer to it as. And the Super Bowl, I'm going to start referring to it as the phony bowl, the stupid bill and the phony bowl. So because I saw some footage where The players were obviously coordinating instead of doing clean tackles and strictly operating in an adversarial, competitive way, that they were working together, and it's just as phony as can be. MS, make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. That's one of the things. So branding is important. Branding is important. And the bill they're trying to push, that's a perfect word for it, stupid. The Super Bowl is a phony bowl. And also that plays right into what is a worldwide term now. FAKE, right? I can't say it on this platform too much. News. Okay? Fake. All right? Everybody around the world is using that term. So, we're going to keep on exposing stuff. And anybody who wants to get that bill through, if we all stick together, it's stupid. Whoever votes for it is stupid. So I put in there, it's their move. It's their move. Trump is, even though they're celebrating this goofy E. Jean Carroll and having a gala, all the news people showed up for this some kind of dinner event. Here it is. The drinks are on her. This is from the Daily Mail. E. Jean Carroll holds a glitzy New York City party with liberal media friends who hailed her as an icon after winning $83 million defamation payout from Donald Trump after S3X attack. It is so libelous. It is horrible. And hey, I am glad when people come in here and try to push the liberal narrative, because I can expose the narrative and hopefully get, if not the person talking about it, people who tune in to us to hear it being called out exactly what it is: frauds and lies. And when you have people reveling in iniquity, okay, when they get joy out of iniquity, we know the term for that, Schadenfreude. That's a German term for it. But hey, the popular answer for Lucifer's fall was pride, but right along with it was his iniquities, okay? All right? And treating others unfairly and getting joy out of seeing somebody else being hurt or suffering. That is reveling in iniquities. So any reasonable person would know that what they're doing to Trump is a coordinated setup. And I said, who's next in my hi, Georgia? I appreciate the comments you left for me. I read it, and I appreciate it very much. And I'll get around to answering some comments. Please know that I do read my comments. And just like Mike and Beverly left me a nice comment too, I appreciate it very much. It gives me some steam, So anyway, we I watch videos and we hear so many news stories, and you start to get the theme. They have a theme, they build a theme, and then they all parrot it. And I'll call them ignorant innocents. They're ignorant, and that gives them some level of innocence. They just don't want Mr. T because of the drumbeat. So they jump right on board, and you guys know I'm probably referring to certain individuals that have visited us in the past. Uh, and we got to try to reach those people, but some of them we'll never reach. But mostly the big club people. You heard that the uh, veteran who tore down that, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I'm sure most of you have, the guy that tore down that satanic display uh, in a courthouse. What was it, Idaho? That he's been charged. Okay. He's been charged with a hate crime. And, it doesn't get much more plump and plain. Somebody going to tell me free speech for Satan on public property, when at the same time you've got some people who were holding a prayer vigil outside of a facility that ends the lives of little ones, unborn ones. They're facing 11 years in jail, and then going to talk to me about the rights of people who worship Satan. I think there needs to be a very strong argument made that for something to be defined as a religion, they have historical parameters. They've got all kinds of things to define it in the eyes of the law. But I think there needs to be something put in there about civility, safety, prosperity, okay? Things that build a society healthy, all right? And you don't even have to use the term moral, because things that we traditionally accept as moral equate to the things I just mentioned. Security, safety, prosperity, civility. There isn't any nation that advanced or was founded or flourished practicing so-called Satanism. But Judeo-Christian societies are by far the more advanced, and we certainly don't fall under the category as third world countries. So I don't even think that Satanism could be called a religion. It's nothing conducive to a safe and prosperous society. So yeah, forget it. There don't need to be any protections for that type of belief system. So, yeah, Angela, I see what you're saying. How you doing? I saw a cartoon where couple was sitting on a bench, and they said, "Boy, if I voted for Biden, I wouldn't show my face." And on the bench next to him is a couple, and they're both wearing those things on their faces. That's right, Diane. She won't see a penny of that money. And all the court cases are falling apart. That's what I meant by who's next. I mean, you can go down the line. Letitia James, even though they're burying it, and she's done something. I'll see if I can pull it up in my articles. But she's being questioned about this over $250,000 from Soros-backed organizations. What's going on with that? And then you've got Jack Smith is embroiled in a extortion investigation overseas, international. Okay, It's serious stuff. Now, he had his meeting. I'll get to the other ones in a second. But he had a meeting with Eileen Cannon, okay? And they call it an ex parte. But reading between the lines, ex parte is where you don't have the other party of the lawsuit present. They're discussing things that I guess as a matter of record would not concern the Trump team. They're talking, as near as I can tell as a layman, they're discussing matters that solely concern Smith and or his team. So what could it be? What could be going on? For all we know, he's been indicted or is a subject of a grand jury investigation. We don't know. Or that it's turned out that some of the documents that he's put his grubby hands on, he's violated law because he does not have the classification to possess them. There's any number of things that could be going on with that. We're going to keep an eye on it. But then, of course, we all know with Fawny, her name's not Fanny, it's Fawny. She got her woes and miseries and more of them popping up every minute. Of course, she's being defiant. But that's what the big club, that's what they pick to do their dirty work. Low IQ, arrogant, greedy morons. Okay? Arrogance, greed, and stupidity. You mix that all up in the bucket and you look down in it, and what do you got? You got evil. Evil. Because some people are stupid because they want to be. It's nothing as far as their genetics or anything else. As stupid is, as stupid does. So, timber on that one, right? And then you got these Harvard professors. You got that one that just resigned as president. And then you got another one that's come out where they plagiarized also. I mean, these people could not function in a normal situation. Their positions, their reputations, their money, their security, their power all comes from playing ball with the big club. Because where are they going to get a job at? What kind of skills they have other than showing up at some office somewhere and pushing Marxism and counterculture garbage? Yeah, MS. What about people tore down the statues? Double standards. They use the term two-tier justice system. And worse than that, it's double standards. And it's persecution. Well, yeah, the smackdown of Fannie Willis is it's getting good. I don't know how she's going to get out of it. And I said last week, I said she's probably going to be indicted. Now, the boyfriend, so a reporter said, broke out his checkbook and settled with his wife. It might have been his checkbook, but wasn't his money he was using to settle with his wife. It was our money. And I'm sure he's done a non-disclosure with her where she can't. Whoa. Hang on a second. I got a message from somebody. I got to answer. So, somebody went and got me coffees, and I know who it is. It's Gary, I believe. I appreciate it. Yes, indeed. I'm on. I'm gonna try to get me some stronger internet and upgrade my situation, and get a little more powerful stuff going here. Even though I am coming in clear, but I have choices. I can either go down to lower numbers of broadcasts per week and uh, do more picture shows, or keep going like I'm going. But there's so many days that I just want this stuff come out. I want to talk about. So I'm going to just keep going like I'm going. But supporting the channel like Ab and Gary, I really appreciate it. And everybody else that's helped support me. So, oh yeah, Melinda, she can be a street sweeper. Jet lag, Kim Clement. Yeah, that's a blast from past. Isn't that somehow he passed away? Yeah. What's it say about the Attorney General of Georgia? Who is their boss? Well, all roads lead to somewhere, and they got to figure out what to do. I was thinking, and this is auditions right now. These people are auditioning, whether they know it or not. GITMO is one place they're auditioning for where they're going to be staying. But seriously, we are going to go. What is being planned, I have no doubt in my mind, and it's not conspiracy, it's not conjecture. A restructuring of our financial system, our economic system has to be restructured. Banks need to be done away with, and the Federal Reserve. That's why Trump always has Andrew Jackson around him, because that's what he did. He balanced the federal budget, and he got rid of the central bank. And also, we have to restructure our government services, how they operate, and restore the Constitution. So right now, there are people involved that are auditioning, and a lot of them don't even know it, whether they're going to play a part on the right side of the bars, okay? Because there's going to be people on the wrong side of the bars. And who's going to be in the Garden of Heroes that Mr. T always mentions? The Garden of Heroes that we have planned out. And one of them I'm positive of is going to be in the Garden of Heroes, where there are so many. But Rudy Giuliani is going to be in the Garden of Heroes. And I now know that because Mr. T has been putting out talking about the prosecutor that got fired, that Rudy Giuliani went and met with personally, how the House is demanding copies of the speech where Biden demanded his firing of that prosecutor. And as calm and cool and collected as Giuliani is going through all this stuff, he does his radio show, he has guests on, and he tracked that money, and he has all the records. $900,000 was one thing he tracked through Luxembourg right to a Biden account. And that's been, he's had that information for years. Jersey Joe gave the booms. Boom, boom, boom. Ha ha. Thank you, Jersey Joe. Ha ha. All right. Yeah. You didn't get notified. Neither did. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? A couple of people mentioned that they hadn't been notified and got unsubscribed. And I'll tell you something else. I had to sign in on the multiple things today that I usually don't have to sign in. I just hit the app on the screen and I go in. I don't have to give my password. I don't have to give my username. But I had to do that on two things I went in there that I never have to do. So something's been reset. All right, Mountain Man Strong. Ha ha ha. So yeah, something's going on. And we got to be ready for it, not be freaked out by it. Because that's what they want. They want us to be freaked out, folks. Yeah, Nikki, I asked everybody to podge the like button. PODGE. Podge it. Chris Carr is the AG of Georgia, Georgia says. When did Jim Carrey say that, MS? Was that recently? Jim Carrey, I think he's had a awakening. I think he's possibly a good person that is coming around. Yeah, it's about to get real. I'm hoping it's going to get real. I think I am in agreement with a lot of people that there have been arrests made, and there are people that are cooperating. You know, they were on the stupid side. You know, not members of the big club, and that big club is whatever they want to call it, Baal, Moloch, whatever. It all boils down to the Church of Satan, and yeah, it's real. Yeah, I'm over Target, and probably that's why everybody's unsubscribing from me. Well, I was just watching up top of the screen. I had about 30 more people, and where'd they go all of a sudden? I don't know. Somebody gets on and does a live stream, and they're going to talk about secret stuff, and certain people just can't help themselves. Hi, David. You can podge with your pinky finger, David, whatever you want to do. Well, Hollywood, you got Alec Baldwin. He thought he was going to wiggle out of that. And you know what? About a week before they actually charge him, maybe 2 weeks, Mr. T mentioned him. I believe in True Social. He said he was a crazy nut, you know. And then a week after that, or 10 days or whatever, they announced that they'd charge Alec Baldwin again. So, Melinda, are you talking about that comedian we were just talking about, Jim Carrey? Yeah, I think he's come around too. So, and we haven't heard anything about that Saturday Night Live lawsuit, which I did a broadcast about. Some of the big names of Saturday Night Live were getting the same kind of trouble that Epstein had. So you know what's going to happen there. So, yeah, I'm looking here. You know, I wanted to bring out some things whenever we have an opponent come in, bring out some things that are undeniable. They're talking about this new illness. We heard of illness X, right? And now we heard now they're talking about something coming out in India named Nipah. Nipah. I thought it was spelled NIPA. Okay. And I said, well, that's an acronym. NIPA. All you got to do is switch the letters around. It's PAIN, right? But I looked at it, an article, and in the article they spelled it NIPAH. Okay, and that is supposed to be a illness that's coming out in India, and they're talking about doing shutdowns in India. Oh, really? Your former boss's son works for Saturday Night Live. Well, I'm just looking through the comments. Taylor out in front now. Well, that's what the narrative they want to give everybody is that Taylor Swift is going to change the election. You all heard my thoughts on that. Hillary tried that with Beyonce, and a responsible adult, most responsible adults would give her about as much credence as Miley Cyrus, okay, or Lady Gaga. I'm not basing my vote on any of those dizzy weirdos or Madonna or anything like that. Cher, all of them have been pulling for Hillary or Joe or whatever freak show the Democrats put out there. So one more ditzy singer is not going to change anything. And the article we were talking about night before last said that one fifth of the voters would make up their mind based on Taylor Swift. Well, 1/5. What is that percentage wise? 20%? So 80% would be voting for Trump and 20% would be morons. So, hey, that's about right. That's what I figure we're dealing with. We got about 20% of people in this country are going to be driving alone in their car with a mask on, bemoaning the world, all right, spending their precious time. Can you imagine that? Like the climate change fraud. We already talked about the stupid bill. We already talked about the phony bowl. We talked about fake news, a fake election. And then you have this fake climate garbage. People have been literally spending decades of their lives, their time and their energy. I saw Gary where he was saying the frequency was highest it's ever been. Well, the frequency is like a positive energy. All right, something where you're living in a way that pleases God. You're appreciative of life. You're happy. You want others to be happy. Well, how the heck can you be that way? Can you imagine, like, you're sitting there with your friends and you got a campfire and you put a marshmallow on a stick, you're going to have a marshmallow, and wah, wah, here she comes, climate dope. Hey, you causing global warming with a fire. You can't roast a marshmallow. You anything you do, they're gonna find some chicken little fear to be afraid of. And what a way to spend your life. But that's the way they want everybody to, because they have the solutions, don't you know? Yeah, 1/5 that won't vote in Maryland. You're right. Taylor brought in 325 million to the NFL. I don't believe that. They maybe watched the halftime show. Oh yeah, I saw that story about that. They claim it was a conservative kid that did that to his father in Pennsylvania. Boy, if that isn't an MK and an Ultra, right? Hi, Larry. How you doing? The park. Yeah, they have the park surrounded. That's right, Angela. Coffee is causing global warming. What a that's sickening. Anything they can think of. They have a chopper and a searchlight. What are you talking about, Larry? Welcome aboard. I don't know how much more signals we can give these people. And you know, it takes a lot of guts for somebody to come in here and try to stick up for them. And even though that pukes us out, we learn what their plans are, what their plots are. Like when Climate Rider came in, boom, he started talking about Taylor Swift. Well, what do you know? All the newspapers talking about it because they get their word out fast. And the ones who are just dedicated anti-Trumpers, man, they get their notifications early in the morning. They sign up to their Facebook groups and they get their word out real quick. And the quicker we find out, that's why I'm curious about Joe Biden saying, "Give me the power. Give me the power." It's a short clip where he's supposedly getting off of Marine One, and somebody said, "Well, what are you going to do about the border?" He said, are you going to do any executive orders about the border crisis?" And he said, "If I had the power, give me the power." You know, that anything you give them, any power you give them, they'll turn it on us. They ain't going to use it against the illegals. And what was that one lady in one of these state houses said, we need to stop calling them illegals. That's a bad, bad thing. Well, I'll tell you one good bit of news. In Oregon, of all places, Oregon, right? The let's see, Oregon state senators who staged a walkout over abortion can't run for re-election, the high court says. Oregon GOP senators, the measure to prevent walkouts passed after GOP lawmakers staged other walkouts from the legislature. That's not good news. That's Oregon. That's bad news. I thought it was some Democrat senators who were protesting, but in Oregon, they won't let them run again. Oh, you got a fugitive running around, huh, Larry? Well, it's like I was saying, all these illegals running around. Look what that one guy did in Pennsylvania, shut down half the state practically, or a third of the state, One guy. Yeah, Nikki Haley, she's not even on the ballot in Indiana. Oh, that's right. Well, Biden met with United Auto Workers, and Trump called out the president of United Auto Workers, Sean Finn, or Finn Sean, or something like that, and told him, "Look, you better get on board, or you all aren't going to have jobs. You guys are going to be working for Mexico." And at the same time, you had Trump in D.C. meeting with the Teamsters. Yeah, Alan. MTG wants to censor Omar. I think they should impeach her and uh, strip her of her citizenship. I'm not being radical. Yeah, that's the video I saw when he was saying, "Give me the power." He had some kind of aircraft in the background then, but I could hear him say, "Give me the power." So you have Biden going to United Auto Workers and Trump meeting with the Teamsters, but Nikki Haley isn't even on the ballot in Indiana. And the governor there of Indiana put out a statement. Trump put it out, said that she can't be a serious candidate if she's not even in the primary ballot in Indiana. So she's not even there, and he's going to blow her out in Nevada. And I can't wait to see South Carolina. Boy, that's going to be a hoot. Yeah, they endorsed United Auto Workers leadership endorsed moron. They're all on the take. They're all on the take. They're all union leaders. I'm just going through the comments. Oh, wow. I see a couple of things here. Yeah, I got some. I don't know how recent they are. I got some pictures from the sky, satellite pictures of Gitmo, and I found a article that I've referenced in the past before about how Gitmo has been expanded. You can see the before and after. I don't think you see the barges in the photos I have though, but I've heard there's large barges there. And Diane says that John Fetterman says he's going to walk away from the Senate, and his wife wants a divorce. Oh my word! Trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise. And he's been acting about halfway conservative. But anyway, at least when it comes to the Palestine conflict, here's from Breitbart: radical leftists threaten to, quote, bird dog conservatives at home and church. Radical leftists plotting to stop former President Donald Trump from winning re-election in 2024 came to Washington, D.C. to stage a rally and intimidate staffers for a conservative think tank. So They call it bird dogging. They twist words, okay? They twist words like the other one that's in trouble is the attorney for E. Jean Carroll, Kaplan, and the actual judge of that case, Kaplan. They're in trouble for not disclosing a past relationship. But they don't say, well, we worked together for 2 years at the same law firm. They say we overlapped. We overlapped temporarily. You know, and in this situation, harassment, they call it bird dogging. We're going to bird dog conservatives. And, you know, I need to write down when they, like they were talking about the state that was outlawing certain procedures, what they call gender care, give them the proper care. 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, they call giving them injections, and they call that medicine and care, okay? Oh, yeah, and then refugee enclaves. They were talking about states that wouldn't allow gender affirming care, that they would call themselves refugees and move into enclaves and try to take kids with them, I guess. Well, you know, if you are a healthy individual and don't have any genetic anomalies or illnesses, you're not affirming you're denying your own gender. You're a gender denier. I got to write that down. These gender deniers, they're not transsexuals, they're gender deniers. How come I got to be the one to think of this stuff? I got to get a hold of people with more influence than me. That's from now on, they're not migrants. Okay, well, here's the game they play. They're not illegals, they're migrants. No, they're not migrants, they're illegals. They're transgender. No, they're not. They're gender deniers. Okay, so I'm going to start using that. They're denying their own gender. You think that'll stick, guys? Somebody standing there, and I've said it a lot of times before, I'll wear it out. Somebody with a beard and a dress says, call me ma'am. That's a gender denier. Well, it could be cross-dressers. You know, that's accepted. They've been around forever. Oh, you think it's a different Fetterman? Camp Blaze is where mainstream media is going. Well, we just can't continue to have this. And I don't see anybody coming in to come to bat, step up to bat, and put forth the argument for the left. I know it pukes people out. I know that. But I enjoy it because it's like, come on, what have you got? What's the argument? I gotta hear this. This I gotta hear. And without being rude or nasty or mean to them, I can just use facts to blow the stuff out of the water. But I don't see anybody tonight. Oh well. But I don't know what we're going to do, these gender deniers. But anyway, we can't. This can't happen again, and we've got to be able to with the mainstream media. There has to be a nexus, and there has to be um, conclusive evidence of foreign interests, a foreign power managing the narrative. All right. And once people know that that is what's happening, if they knowingly continue, then they're in trouble. But the thing about it is, they can always resign. This is government people. If they're trying to be forced to do something wrong or against the law, in Germany, there were disputes on the battlefield. Generals would say, "Look, I'm going to retire. I'm going to take my retirement now because I don't agree with what you're doing." And some of them got called back, got put in a different theater, so they wouldn't have to participate in things they had a disagreement with. And those were generals that did not end up in jail for 20 years or end up at the end of a rope because they exercised free will and resigned their posts. The same thing here. People that work for the government say, "I got to keep my job." Well, no, you don't, because you put your country behind your job and your paycheck. You put your paycheck before your country. When you know something's a crime is being committed or there's harm being done to your country, you have you have the option and you have a duty to resign. Nobody's making you deliver lies over the news, through the cameras. The German and French farmers are still going at it. What about that gas line blowing up in Texas? There's a lot of thoughts there that may be retaliation for what they're doing at the border. Because we're in a civil war, but it's within the governments, not the populists. Yeah, I wonder how many other people didn't get their notification or been taken off. So anyway, then they had some kid at a school. Well, he never made it to the school, but they raided a house and actually found a grenade launcher with ammo and the regular, guns and pistols. That's heavy duty stuff. I guarantee you that grenade launcher came from Ukraine. All right, made its way back here. Oh, the gas line was in Beaver County, Oklahoma. Oh, there was a chicken plant explosion in Texas. Oh, thank you, Pappy. Just looking through the comments. Now, well, I got a little bit of time. Let look through these articles real quick. Ukraine naval drones destroyed a missile boat off the coast of Crimea that had 40 soldiers on it. So, we're keeping an eye on Iran, and we're keeping an eye on, are we going to have a attack on the internet or power or anything like that? Just remember, Taiwan can pop off. Russia could pop off because the drones they're using, the U.S. is supplying. And there's certain grades of weapons and information that our satellites were given to Ukrainians. We're helping target things, giving coordinates. And if that can be proved, like Putin said, he'll go for decision-making centers no matter where they are. So, there's a lot of different places things can pop off. I want to remind people, like when they're talking about this NIPAH, NIPAH illness. They're talking about illness X. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they slow walked the ceremonial walk to the Senate to deliver articles of impeachment, wasn't that the very same day the first case of CVID happened in a nursing home in Washington State? It seems to be like they timed both events. And people that are doubting and thinking it's all cheap conspiracy theories and stuff like that, they look at how can they explain something like that? Where they held those impeachment papers, if you'll remember, they kept saying, well, when is Nancy going to take it to the Senate? When's Nancy going to take it to the Senate? Well, it was the day that Trump was actively giving a speech at the United Nations, and he was telling the countries in the United Nations, the globalist time is over. This is the era of patriots. And while he's giving that speech, the first case crops up in Washington State, and Nancy Pelosi slow walks the impeachment papers to the Senate. And that's facts. I want to see what people on the left have to say about stuff like that. And prove me wrong. I'm not wrong. So what does that tell somebody with an instinct to spot danger, to spot crooked behavior, criminal behavior? And why would you support it? But I don't see anybody from the other side. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that those three things happened on the same day. Trump gave a speech, a major speech to the UN. The news services didn't cover it, and it was where he was throwing down the gauntlet. He was telling the World Economic Forum, he was telling the New World Order, the globalists, your time is over. This is the time for patriots. But nobody heard it because all the cameras were on Nancy Pelosi doing that funeral walk, carrying the impeachment papers to the Senate. Trump didn't even know what was happening until he finished his speech. But the other thing Nancy knew is there was an outbreak beginning that day in Washington State in a nursing home. Oh, Miss Minisu, it's up your territory, huh? That is Bill Gates, uh, his home state, Washington State. So I'm curious to see what these hardheads, what have they got to say about those facts I just said? So anyway, he's not coming in. So Ilhan Omar appears to be a foreign actor who's infiltrated the country and the Congress. And the person who planted that devices, two of them, at the Capitol, all right, turns out was a former federal agent. Traced their travel and knew what train they got on and know the address of their home and everything. So that's coming out. We'll see how much reporting they do. They're too busy having dinners and celebrating E. Jean Carroll's victory, which is going to make them all look like horses' asses. And this news, what they used to say about Trump, bombshell news. Well, here you have somebody on that magic day, that horrible day, that as bad as Pearl Harbor. They know the person. They can describe the person who put those devices out there. Places Kamala Harris was supposed to go visit. That's not big news. No, E. Jean Carroll's big news. And then Mark Zuckerberg. Ted Cruz called him out. I got some memes that now you look at them, they're funny, but back 3-4 years ago, I would put them up on Facebook. I get blocked right away. I mean, within seconds, all different kinds of memes, or I would respond to somebody, and before the person I'm going back and forth with could even read the response, it would get flagged. But like Ted Cruz was saying, you got thousands and thousands of I guess I could say this word, predators, PRE daters that they don't do anything about. And Clandestine put out, the wheels of justice move far too slow. Do you think Zuckerberg cares about his social media platform being used by child predators? He already has 140 billion. Do you think Mayorkas cares about being impeached? 20 million people have already crossed the border. The damage is already done. You know, that might sound cynical, but it's true. The damage has been done by Zuckerberg. The damage was done in 2020 when he put all those drop boxes out there. Clearly criminal, clearly election interference, clearly violation of campaign laws, nothing. And then you have all the ones that got kicked off of X by Musk. all the ones calling for uh, civil rights for minor attracted people, they all run to Facebook, and nobody does anything about it. So I'm looking for not for revenge or glee, but necessary punishments. And Clandestine put two things out today. The second one he put out, I got to be careful how I say these words, okay, folks? You can spend the next 9 months debating about irrelevant minutia if you'd like. The reality is the DNC establishment are engaged in human trafficking, P3DO, okay, philia, geno and inside, brainwashing, censorship, bioweapon development, and Satanism. If that's not a deal breaker, what is? And to me, it's as plain as can be. That's right, Angela. We shouldn't have glee about it. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen. That so it can never happen again. Here it is. If y'all want to find out who is John Podesta, he was Clinton's chief of staff, counselor to Obama, Hillary's campaign manager, and now joins the Biden administration. He is at the epicenter of the DNC ruling class. He's at the epicenter, John Podesta, and you can watch you can look at an expose that Clandestine on X put out about John Podesta. But I know a lot of you know about him. But we were told in early posts that the you know what was going to hit the fan on the announcement of the arrest of John Podesta. So I think I'm going to, I got to be careful with that though. But yeah, we're making a difference because more and more people are going to find out about it. But here's a little bit of so-called news. Breaking, U.S. Capitol Police is closing the probe into the December 13th S3X video of two men on the Senate floor of the complex, citing no evidence a crime was committed. So did you know that? You can go in the Senate building and film yourself with another, I guess, man or whatever they call themselves, doing things like that, and there's you haven't done anything wrong. There's more to it, but it makes me sick. I don't want to read it. So anyway, 150 Democrats voted against deporting illegal aliens that are here that get arrested for drunk driving. That's not enough to deport them, according to 150 of the Democrats. So anyway, we're getting closer and closer. The time is coming. Whatever state you're in, when Mr. T shows up and it's time to primary vote, each I think each victory he has is going to be record-breaking and historic. He's not he's not closing up shop and accepting the nomination because he wants to forcibly put out a forceful message that we're not going anywhere. We're here, and man, we're coming. We're coming strong. All right, just looking through the chats real quick. All right, I appreciate you helping me out, Gary, with buying me a coffee, and I appreciate Beverly and Mike for helping out earlier. And let me see here. I had Christopher helped the other night, and Lone Wolf helped out. Camperman helped out. I appreciate it. That's last week. I appreciate this week and on into last week. So I appreciate it, everybody. And I'll be going live again soon. I'm sorry that you all didn't get notified. Please check to see that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. If you think about it on your way out, hit the thumbs up button. It'll help the video get around. Like to get over a couple hundred thumbs up. Wouldn't that be nice, folks? Thank you, Jetlag. I appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all. And we'll be getting together again soon. So tomorrow's another day, right? All right, folks. You all have a great evening. Have a safe evening. And I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.